Hello, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. I am using the budgeting software system YNAB to kind of go through my finances and my budgets. I have a lot to do in this video because it's going to be a wrap up of May, review of May, and then looking at what I have budgeted so far in June. And there are a couple of transactions that I need to input, a couple of things I need to clean up that I wanted to wait to do until I could record for everyone. So we're going to move kind of quickly so that this video isn't too long. So like I said, I have a couple of transactions to input. So this was on the 26th of May. The pay is going to be HBO, category will be HBO Max. Mom will cover half is going to be my memo. So I succumbed and I bought another subscription service, which I'm not very proud of myself for. But, and then in Chase, I'm going to do on the 30th, the pay will be Mo's. So this weekend, my sister actually bought her wedding dress, and I went with her when she got it ordered. Me and my mom went with my other sister, and then on the way back, we got Mo's lunch after dress shopping. And I covered it because we ordered it and picked it up, and I had the Mo's app on my phone, so I covered it. And then my mom actually paid me back for it, so I'll enter her reimbursing me for that. And then here is yesterday I did so I already donated this month to a food bank at the beginning of the month, and then yesterday I looked at where I could move some money around and saw that I could move some money from my other category and decided to do that, to go ahead and donate some money to the some of the Minnesota small businesses that have been hurt recently over the weekend, over the past couple, wasn't really just the weekend. I actually was trying to donate to the Minnesota Freedom Fund, and they redirected me actually to this site, Help Lake Street Businesses, because the Minnesota Freedom Fund had actually had so many recent donations that they were like, hey, there are other businesses or other charities that need this money more. So I thought that was really, really interesting. Good that they had that money and then they redirected to another place. So that's where I ended up donating. I'm going to go ahead and leave a link to it down below if you're interested in checking it out and maybe giving some money as well. I'll also link another link for you to look at other places that you could potentially donate to address and help some of the issues that are going on right now. And then I'm going to come here. So like I said, when we got Mo's, I gave the person who brought out our money, or brought out our food, because it was like a curbside pickup, I gave him like a $3 tip, cash tip for lunch, and then I just covered that completely. So with HBO Max, my mom actually paid me, or the pay will be family. She actually covered half of it since we're splitting the thing. So this is going to go straight to the HBO Max category, and memo's going to be mom's half, if I can spell today. And the inflow will be $6. So I'm inflowing that directly to that category so that when on my reports it doesn't actually look like I spent $13.68, because it doesn't take into account any spending that you directly inflow to the category. And then I'm also going to do that for the 30th for the Mo's, because she transferred me money for that as well. This is going to go directly to dining out, and the memo will be reimbursement for Mo's lunch, and the inflow was $27. So I'm not going to reconcile yet, or move any money. Actually, what I am going to do is go to my budget and make sure that, for the most part, we're okay. Yeah, so there's some overspending, but we're okay with all of our cash. So what I'm going to do is actually come back here, and I actually got paid for my part-time job on the 28th, but I've not budgeted in yet because, again, I wanted to save some of this to do on camera. So it's going to be inflow to be budgeted. It's the May 28th paycheck, and it was a really small check. It was only $88.38 because it was a holiday for one day, so I didn't actually get to work one of my scheduled days. So I'm going to go ahead and budget that out, and it'll be pretty quickly. With my part-time paychecks, I always put 15% in for taxes because they don't withhold enough for my paychecks. And then I'm just going to add that 12 cents as well. And then with the rest of this, we'll go directly to federal loan A. So another $75 to federal loan A. Next, I'm going to budget my checking account interest and my savings account interest. And this came in on the 31st. This would be cashback interest as the payees. Inflow to be budgeted. This is May's checking interest, and it was an inflow of 44 cents, which isn't too bad. Then going to my savings account, adding another transaction on the 31st. Cashback interest is the payee. Inflow to be budgeted, save May saving interest, and the inflow is 11.13. So I always budget all of that money directly to my emergency fund. So let me flip forward to June. 11.57 budgeted there. Now I'm going to take care of some of this overspending. So to cover this HBO Max, I'm going to cover this with let's see. I'm going to go actually to June. And I'm going to move $80 to be budgeted because I don't like to have any more than $120 in my gas budget at a time. And since I didn't spend any money in May and then budgeted another $80 in June, it's too much money. So I'm going to move the excess up to be budgeted and use that to cover this overspending. And then to cover this overspending, this giving, I'm going to cover this with the other category since I had $64 in there. And now I believe it is time to reconcile my accounts now that I have that covered. So my savings account is going to be 13, 19, 12. Yes, my checking account. Let's see. This $6 cleared, this cleared, this $27 cleared, and that cleared. So is this 1262646? Oh, 162646. It is, my account is reconciled. I'm not going to approve this yet, this top one, because I have not entered that transaction yet, but that is scheduled to be on the first of every month. I transfer my mom $400, so I'll make sure to do that. I'm going to keep that bolded as a reminder. And then I'm going to come down to my tracking accounts and reconcile them. So here is this transaction that I inputted. So I finally rolled over from, 401k, the old 401k from my previous employer to my new one. And then my current balance is, so we'll say this is growth. I don't know, the payee's growth memo, increase in amount. My current balance is actually 195274. So I'm going to minus what the current working balance of this is, 184423, and that will inflow $108.51, so that I'm going to clear all these and reconcile. 195274, that's the current value of my 401k. And then coming down here, you see that transfer that I had input deducted it from this account, but I also lost, just due to like fee transfers and just some losses that I had already taken on this account due to the market. I'm losing the last $102.04 that was in this account. So I'm going to go ahead and clear that, reconcile, and say, yep, I have no money in this 401k. I'm going to come over here and close account. And when I do that, that account just moves down here in my closed. It's kind of like a way to hide your accounts. Like you can hide old budgeting categories, you close old accounts. But that way, that is up to date. And then the only other thing I'm going to add in for the 31st is, we'll call this cashback or interest as the payee, and this will be interest from April and May, and it is 0.06. I'm going to clear these accounts, and then my current balance is $1,041.75, which is really exciting because after I hit $1,000, I can then start investing some of my money, anything over $1,000 in my HSA. So I think I'm going to work on figuring out how to get that started this month. Okay, now that all of my transactions are up to date and everything for May has been input, I'm going to go ahead and review some of my reports for the month and the year. So looking at May, in total I had $3,488.45 in income between my part-time job, my full-time job. This is some cash gifts I got for my birthday, and then cash back and interest. This is the highest interest month I've had by actually quite a lot. So that's exciting. So even though rates are going down because I have more money in my accounts, especially my savings accounts, I'm still seeing pretty good returns. And then I did my normal $400 for monthly bills that I give to my mom. And that's this transaction for June, but I already paid that in May because it's due on the 1st. And then, let's see, subscriptions, it's a little bit higher now because now I have this HBO Max, but you'll see what I said here. the amount is actually $13.68, but since my mom, I inflowed that payment directly to that category for $6, it looks like I only spent $7.68, which is accurate. But I did all my other subscriptions. Again, no gas. So the last time I got gas was March 1st, which is insane. I definitely think I'm going to get gas this month, though, in June. And so the only spending I had $28.48 in dining out. And most of that was actually my Mother's Day lunch that I did for my mom, because the money that I spent on Moe's was reimbursed by my mom. And then it was just that $3 cash tip. And then I did $50.90 in giving, which is really good because my goal is only really $20. But I had so much money left over in my other categories at the end of the month. I was like, I definitely want to give right now. And then I did no other spending in sinking funds. I didn't transfer or send anything to my IRA this month, and nothing to federal loans. So in total, I spent $512.20, and then had a net income of this is how much money I haven't spent at all, which was $2,976.25. And then I always like to look at the net worth, and just to focus on the month so far. So my current net worth is $13,683.88. Oh my goodness. Assets, $19,000. Actually, $19,001. You gotta count that $1. My goal for the end of the year, in May, I started to reevaluate my financial goals for 2020, and I added this goal to have $20,000, a positive $20,000 net worth. But I'm already at $13,000, so I guess it's all going to be dependent on how the market does for the rest of this year. Because I think I can reach that goal even if the market doesn't do as good, just with my cash savings. So that's really, really exciting. So then I'm just going to come to May and review some of my savings categories, because you don't see that reflected in my spending in May, because obviously I didn't really spend much of it. So I budgeted another $250 to my medical deductible, so that's almost up to $2,000. $930 to my IRA, so it's right under $1,500. I'm gonna budget probably another $900-ish in June, and at that point I'll transfer that money over to my Vanguard account, where I already have $1,000 sitting, and then start to invest. My Vanguard account it's in a money market right now, and I'm waiting to have $3,000 to purchase I don't really know how to say, I don't know the correct terms for all of it, but to purchase the index fund that I want, I need $3,000. So that's going to happen in June. I have $125 set aside for taxes. I still have $513 in holding from just cash money that I was saving or that other people gave me for my birthday. And then $903 to Federal Loan A. So I have less than $2,000 left. So exciting. And I think that should be fully funded by July, and then I'll just hold on to that money until September when student loan interest is about to renew. I'll put that there. So what I'm going to do with this $72.32 that is from my gas category, my excess gas money, I'm going to put $768 in HBO Max for June, because I need to cover my side for June again, and then $768 in July, since everything else in July is already budgeted for. Then I'm going to go back to June. I'm going to add another $50 to my father, because it is Father's Day coming up, and this category is a sinking fund to set money aside each month for my dad in case he needs anything. And I do know that he needs new tires. So $100 for my dad category plus $100 for my gift category should cover at least 2 tires. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then with the $6.96 that's left, I'm actually going to take it down and just add that as excess to my emergency fund. So if nothing else, I have $18.53 going to my emergency fund this month. So I'll quickly review June's budget. You can see that since I had that scheduled transaction set, this is already showing as being paid, but yeah, I have my normal $400 for bills. Subscriptions, everything's going to be normal. I have HBO Max now, my Kindle Unlimited, Apple Storage, and Netflix as monthly subscriptions. And then this month I am paying my YNAB yearly subscription, June 18th, for $83.99, which is the best money spent on a subscription ever. I love it, so that's exciting. And then I have nothing new budgeted for gas, but since I had already over budgeted previously, I have $120 in there. I might get gas once this month. We will see how things go. $25 for dining out, $20 for other, and I still have $54 even after spending $30 in extra giving last month. $20 set aside already for giving, and then $20 for fun, which I don't think I'll end up using this fun money at all. In my sinking fund category, I have $100 budgeted for gifts, $60 for car ownership. Oh, and then, so like I said, I'll be using some of this money for Father's Day this month, and I think that's it. I don't have any other birthdays or events to worry about this month. $60 for car ownership, bringing my total right now to $217.69. So usually I would take the money from the gas and move it to car ownership, but since I already pre-budgeted $60 in there, this category is at $200, and I just had some other areas where I needed to cover some things. I decided to just move that to, I decided to move the gas money to other categories. Dad, I now have $100 because I already put in $50 with last month's money, and then $50 from the gas rollover. $55 has already been budgeted for my sister's wedding fund, $20 for my birthday, which will be next May, and then $10 for personal care. So when I get paid in June, a lot of that money will go into this savings holdings category and then to my student loans. And then I will also be budgeting money into August because the rest of my immediate obligations in July are already done. So that's kind of how I budget. I budget 2 months ahead. Alright guys, I'm sure you can totally hear my computer overheating right now, and I know this video is already kind of long, so that's going to be it for me. I am going to do a quick wrap up, so I wanted to say thank you for all the new subscribers and the views. I hope you guys are really enjoying these videos. I enjoy videos like these. I love looking at other people's YNABs and their budgets, so thank you for all of that. I did want to plug, I have an Instagram, so it's Zennial Finance, so that's Zennial Finance, and you can follow me on there for more personal finance content and even more. I also have some YNAB tips videos up there. And then recently, last week, I posted a YNAB tips and tricks part 1 video focusing on some things that I use to implement in my budgeting and categories screen that I think, maybe you should look into if you want to use it for yourself. So go ahead and check that video out, and then be on the lookout for June paycheck number 1 will be this Friday, June 5th. I'll go ahead and post that. And then YNAB tips and tricks part 2 will be posted next week, and that's going to focus on the budgeting or on the accounts and transaction side of things, and I'll go over some tips that you can use for that. So I think that's everything for me. I'm sorry for the long video, but I kind of wanted to let you see some of these weirder transactions and how I deal with reimbursements and that kind of stuff. So I hope you guys are staying safe, healthy, and you have a good week.